Virginia Governor Ralph Northam is at his second stop on his statewide tour.
And today he's speaking with students at EVMS about the opioid crisis. 13 News Now reporter Megan Shin has this story.
He's a doctor and a governor. And Wednesday morning at EVMS,
addiction has no boundaries.
He's using both occupations to teach the next generation of physicians. In a full lecture hall, they listened to Governor Ralph Northam talk about preventing addiction by being responsible with writing prescriptions.
We've got to look at different ways of treating both acute and chronic pain.
This is the governor's second stop on a statewide tour of medical schools. So it's fitting he comes to Norfolk, where he graduated from medical school.
This is something that they'll never forget the rest of their life.
As governor, Northam says he's listened to inmates talk about their drug addictions.
A lot of them tell me it started with a prescription, just like Ryan, and so we need to be very careful when we use these types of medications.
25-year-old Ryan Hall is a recovering drug addict.
It's an honor and a privilege, to be out with Governor Northam.
His opioid addiction started as a prescription for a football injury at 17 years old.
Ryan eventually found himself behind bars.
With an appeal to the future doctors' minds and hearts, Hall hit it home.
Watch what you prescribe, how much you prescribe, and how long you prescribe.
Second-year med student Alexander McNally says it's a message he'll carry with him.
What we do as students learning now to become providers in the future can really make an impact on the people we treat.
So in a state with 1,200 opioid overdose deaths just last year, this lecture is a reminder addiction doesn't discriminate. And making the difference is only one speech away.
You can always receive help.
In Norfolk, Megan Shin, 13 News Now.